and welcome back to Lore Player Pre-Farms. We have had an incident. I would like to call it the Faruzan Incident. So this is my Faruzan. I love her very much. And she is one of the first 4 stars I got. I used to play her as a main DPS. She was the first character on my account to deal over 10k damage. I love her. My Faruzan is C4. And for those who don't know, she just had her first rerun in I think it's almost a year, or almost exactly a year. So I thought to myself, why don't we get the last 2 copies of Faruzan? Because at Lantern Rite, we lost a 50-50 while trying to get Shenhe, which is why we have this little guy, who is completely unleveled, because as you know, if you're watching this series, I am pre-farming for Escoffier and Ifa. Now, I go onto the banner, and if you look at the sidebar, you already see what happened. And I get 2 Yanfeis, so we now have a C6 Yanfei. I'm very happy with that. I've switched her to a Lost Praise to Sacred Wind. She is now one of my main pyro DPSs. She is gonna deal big damage. I love her. The only problem is what happened at 30 pity. For those of you who have seen the disaster that was the Phase 1 banners, I spent 300 wishes and lost 2 50-50s in a row, making it so that I had lost 3 50-50s in a row and would get capturing Radiance on my next lost 50-50. But as I was doing single pulls trying to get a Faruzan at 30 pity, this happened. We got Jilonin. I wasn't planning on getting her. I wasn't planning on ever playing her. I hate her boss. I find her lore interesting, but not interesting enough to pull her. I find her aesthetically incredibly nice. And I do love Geo. Like Geo is one of my favourite elements. But you know how much it cost to get Jilonin usable for my account? Because obviously she'd be great for this abyss. And usable, she's at 853 def, which is about a quota of what she needs to be really good. We currently have her on Freedom Thorn because I was switching around my swords, and my plan was that if I ever get Jilonin, I give her a Traveler's Handy Sword. But I am missing 1 refinement. If I fully refine this thing, I will give it to her and I will level it for her, and then the order of the swords is restored again and everyone can have a reasonable sword. Because with this constellation, Kazuha is on his story quest weapon, which is only really good for DPS Kazuha. Now I do sometimes play DPS Kazuha, but I would prefer to have him as a support. But yeah, so we're playing Jilonin now. In terms of artifacts, I have nothing for her. For those of you who are gonna see the artifact farming video, we have been farming the Scroll of the Heroes in the city domain, because Ifa is gonna be a Natlan character, and we didn't really get a lot. Like, I have a healing bonus circlet on Cinder City that I gave to her, and I have an attack goblet. Now, the reason she has an attack goblet is because what I would like to do is to do what I do with Yansan and Kachina, where they have 1 set if my DPS is a Natlan character, which is if the DPS is a Natlan character, we use Scroll of the Heroes in the city because of this 2-piece effect. I don't like wasting effects, and if your DPS isn't, or if you don't have another Natlan character on your team, you don't get this ER, this 6 ER. But yeah, so Scroll of the Heroes in the city, and the idea was to give her Archaic Petra for any other supports. Like, for example, I'm gonna show you in a bit how I'm actually planning on playing her. And then I would like to have her have an Archaic Petra set. Now, I have strongboxed all my Archaic Petra after I got all my pieces for Ningguang. So I don't have any Archaic Petra spare, but you know what I do have spare? Wondrous Troop. So we now have Jilonin on 2-piece Wondrous Troop, 2-piece Scroll of the Heroes in the city. Hopefully, as we progress our artifact farming with the Overflow event, we will get some scroll pieces that we can put on her. But yeah. And obviously Constellation, she's C0, she's gonna stay there forever. And in terms of talents, I did raise her to 244 just to not have an incident like with Nouvellette, who is still on 211. But yeah, so what this means is this is the third time I have gotten a 5-star while trying to get constellations for a 4-star. Previous incidents were getting Raiden Shogun while trying to get a Kujou Sara constellation, getting Kazuha while trying to get a Kachina constellation, and now we got Jilonen while trying to finish off Faruzan. This is disastrous for the pre-farming because we spent about 1 million mora raising her to level 60 and raising her talents this much, but more importantly, it cost 100 heroes widths. So we have been set back by 100. It's about a 10% setback on our farming, and the timeline was already tight. I still think it's possible, but we gotta get really, really lucky now. So let this be a lesson. As much as I love Faruzan, don't pull for 4 stars.